Hi and welcome. My name's Anne. In this course, I'll introduce you to how you can build a website with a better process and requirements that can benefit from the UX designer down to the developer. I have piled up things to consider, checklists, tools, and brilliant books that I have get inspiration from. Myself, I am a project manager, I've been a project owner, and now as a co-founder in a startup. Building a website is not that difficult. Yeah, you may say so. But if you're familiar to the endless hours at the developer or even ghost developer, those who actually just disappear, a design with an attitude of everything should be pixel perfect or an extremely expensive design built on each page, you might you might want to take a note here. What I have experienced is pages like this, endless hours of defining and building with no results. You see, URLs not clickable, text that's not prioritized, input that's you don't even know what the purpose of this page is. I've also experienced some of those where you actually have a page with no content, some content that's actually been produced, but yeah, you don't have any kind of graphic elements to it. You don't have the good font. It is just being published. But also you have, uh, yeah, nice images that's been exposed on the page, but it doesn't even give you the kind of feeling that they might want to go for. So here's what I think is that a beautiful design doesn't always cut it. You need to think about your purpose of having a website. What I will go through is content as data. I think content is the most important data that you actually have on your website. How you can use it as a metadata sheet, non-technical at all. How you can prioritize and use the UX and hand over requirements that's benefiting for the whole process of building a website. How you can introduce the new thinking of elements and design and actually end up with scalable design and not just a design for each page, the magic layer of tracking, but also how you can involve the developer in the whole process that he's not ending up with some kind of endless backbone that he is not capable of reaching. So here is content as data. Well, I always start of defining the types and elements that's in the page. Also go through the metadata and check the sources. Be honest. Look at the content as your customer. Are there pages that has no views at all? Or does the traffic goes from one page to front page again and back to another page? Do you have some kind of leftovers? Click through all your elements. Sometimes, it hasn't been tested for a long while and you end up with, oops, a mistake? Yeah, perhaps. So when you've cleaned up and get an overview of that, start up with doing this kind of sheet, a metadata sheet. It defines the type that you have. Like, do you have a page, a blog, a project page, a landing page, front page, and so on? What kind of subject do they cover? Is there any kind of need of a menu for it? Maybe it shouldn't be in the menu. Maybe you should just lead the traffic from elsewhere. Does it need of a timestamp? Does it has images? And what kind of data do you actually have on it? Is it important to have the H1 that's trackable for the search engines of Google? What kind of taxonomy and relations do we have? If you use the metadata sheet and think about how you're actually going to do some kind of template for your pages, then you can build on and you can build on and build on. You have a good template. Then you also have a good friend, You can have a good page that's geo friendly, but also something that actually it's maintainable. and something that you can change in, instead of having like a page with no code at all, or no tracking lines at all, or no elements. So think about the logic in the page. And if you have no clue of what to do, talk to your developer. They might be able to help you. So what's the most important thing to think about is, when you're piling up all of those blocks, does this support your content and your site today? Do you have time for writing the blogs? Or is the resources just used endlessly and with no purpose? Do you have a photographer, a support team to answer? And are there anyone behind that support email that you put in your forms? Do you have activity on your social media and tracking platform as well? Do we actually have the KPIs for that? Well, we'll go through some of that, but consider a good website is also a maintained one. So please be honest and scale it to the matter and to the size that you can embrace. Here is the link to that meta data sheet. I filled in some examples, but be free, copy it and use it just like you want to.